everyone, this is Brinda from Career Choice. Today we have Vidhya with us to share her business analysis success stories. So Vidhya, you have been working for 15 years in the management functions like financial analysis, business management and resource management. Could you please brief about yourself?
Yeah, so you have almost covered 50% of what I have been doing. I have been working vastly into human resources and also into projects and into financial planning, financial analysis. It was a mixture of almost all the roles that I had taken up so far, almost close to 15 years now. But now I am a full-time Scrum Master running 2 technology projects with a multinational bank, Standard Chartered, and part of security technology services currently. So yeah, it was a mixture of, my career is a mixture of executive assistant, assisting the chief level executives, and also into human resources, into finance, into projects, PMO, and finally landed here. And I don't know how far it will go post this.
So why did you move from career executive assistant to Scrum Master?
It's only because of the curiosity to learn. Executive assistant, though it has a huge visibility across the corporate, because I have been assisting only the chief level executives. I have been reporting directly to the CEOs, reporting directly to the VPs, senior VPs. But then I was feeling something is missing over there. It was just that driving something by yourself and driving for someone else. So that's the difference that I was actually kind of finding it quite difficult. I thought it should be more challenging, and then I landed here as a Scrum Master.
Okay, so how did you manage to be a business analyst?
My role is a combination of business analyst and a Scrum Master. It's quite tricky, very challenging because entirely into technology. So whatever that I am currently doing is into technology, wherein I'm running 2 huge technology projects, which is into cybersecurity. So how do I manage? It's only through the day-to-day experience of learning and unlearning as well, which I should say, and majorly by learning every situation that's about it. Business analysis or a Scrum Master who removes all the blockers or the impediments is all about analyzing the situation and learning and picking what is needed and just dropping what is not needed. So that's how I actually manage.
Okay. So how do you create motivation for yourself?
I'm a little self-motivated person, wherein how do I actually do it? It's a drive, it is a surge which keeps pricking your mind all the time of what is your goal and where are you currently. So for an example, when I had started this career, I was an executive assistant, and now I'm a Scrum Master, and I have lots of other goals as well. And I also own a dance school wherein I have close to 50 students globally. So self-motivation is something wherein you should have a dream. It is just a fuel to your dream. So that's how you should see it. So as long as you don't have a dream or you don't have a drive, no matter how much ever you're self-motivated, it is not going to yield you anything at all.
Okay.
So it's all about my dream and the goals. There is some voice, that says my inner mind that you have to run, and it's not the time for you to rest up.
Okay.
So that is my self-motivation factor.
So what are the technical skills and soft skills required for this career?
Right. In terms of technical skills, I should say this, when I was taking up this role, wherein as a Scrum Master, which is equivalent to a project manager, you have to head 2 major projects in the cybersecurity of a bank. You know how important security is for a bank. I was actually with the same thought. I should have lots of technical skills or pure or a sheer knowledge into technology, but when I was actually thinking about it, and I had to connect with multiple people, multiple VPs to understand what is that I should acquire to be successful in this new role. The one advice that I got was, you shouldn't be a master to drive a technology project. It's all about, you have to deep dive into it, understand the architecture of that particular project, That's more than enough. So when it comes to the role and technical skills for that role, I would say I have a PMP certification, Project Management Professional Certification, and also PSM, Professional Scrum Master from Scrum Alliance. So these are the certifications that I possess, and currently doing a cloud certification as well. So in short, learning is not about certification, it's about knowing. So that's very important. Certification is just a paper, whatever that we have done in 10th or 12th is of no use now. So I see certification as such, as a paper. Within it, it's all about the knowledge that you actually possess in whatever that you do. And the soft skills for my role have to be really good with stakeholder management and the people management. It's not about the language. When you say soft skill, most of the people think it's only about English. That's a very wrong understanding across people. It's about how you manage people. It's not only for my role, it's for every role whichever has that human touch. So that's something that I had really worked on, and in fact my past experience has helped to be good with people management.
So what's your favorite part of your job?
Challenges. It's quite challenging because every day it is like I'm sitting on an oven. That's how it is. In the deliverables, as a Scrum Master, it's very important to understand the blockers for the deliverable and ensuring that we are removing the impediment. So it's not that easy to understand an impediment and to remove it. It is definitely a challenge. So challenges is the most interesting part of my job. With challenge comes a huge learning. So that's quite interesting, which is not monotonous for me. Every day I get to do something new, learn something new. So that's quite interesting.
So which part of your job you enjoy the most?
Yeah, again, challenges within the understanding the requirement of the stakeholder, which is very important, and that's why we have this role of business analyst, or the role that I'm playing as a Scrum Master. Both needs understanding of the requirement. But number one, when it comes to business analyst, I have to understand the requirement of the stakeholders. Based on that, we will be able to deliver the products. But when it comes to Scrum Master, I have to understand my own team. So that's something that I really enjoy most.
Okay. So what inspired you to choose this skill?
What inspired me to choose this career is all my past experience. As an HR, was into finance. I was an EA to the chief level people. All together, when you put it all together, I thought a project manager should pursue certain qualities. Somebody who is very good with numbers, finance and the analysis. Somebody who is very good with people management, and somebody who is really, really good with understanding the requirement of the stakeholder and working towards that. So I really thought, been into this industry for almost 13 years as an EA, HR and finance. I thought all these qualities put together, I was thinking something of this sort is definitely going to be quite challenging, and my past experience is also going to help me to be a successful PM or a successful Scrum Master. So that was the first thought that came into my mind, and that was my inspiration, in fact.
Okay. So what do you believe the secret to your success?
Okay, learning. Learning is the first secret. Actually, it's not a secret. Everybody knows it. It's just that people don't want to do it. So it's no more a secret. But learning is the secret to my success, and also trust your guts. When I was actually switching over to the new role, Agile into technology, lots of blockers from my circle, from my organization, from my peers. One question everybody was keeping on asking me was, what if you're going to be a failure?
Okay.
Because you have been into a different profession so far, and altogether you're getting into something which is entirely into technology, and without having any technical knowledge, do you really think that you will be able to survive? And one thing that I did was I trusted my guts. It's not overconfidence. It's just that when you want something, that's okay. Even if you're going to be a failure, that's absolutely fine. But then trust your guts and take that step. So that's the secret to my success.
So, how do you get through your worst times?
Worst times, can you tell me what do you mean by worst times? See, I would say that it's worst and best is according to us, the way we see it. Let it be even the worst of worst times. You really have to look at the best out of it. That's how you'll be able to survive. If you think this is the most worst day of my life, or this is the most worst time of my life, and you will get stuck there. So I would say that do not see something as a worst time or a best time. Just try, and it's all about your own mind. People ask me, I am a mother of a 6 years old. I'm running a dance school, and the most pressurized job, being a project manager, a Scrum Master into technology, is definitely going to be hectic. And if I think when I wasn't able to attend to that parents-teacher meeting of my son's school, and if I think that is a worst time, then I will have a self-doubt that I'm not doing justice as a mother. I will have a self-doubt. And also when it comes to my dance school, if I think there are a lot of other people doing in a different way, I'm not doing it, if I consider that as a worst time, again, that is going to pull me down. So worst and best is something that what you define. Just ensure that it doesn't attract your mind. That's about it. So that's how I actually put up with all these. That's about it.
So which has been your most valuable thing? Like your education helped you a lot, or your experience?
So is it between education or
Experience. Which helped you a lot for your career?
Actually, both. I really cannot choose one among the other. But when you say education, it's not the degree that I'm talking about. Okay, again, it's not about the so-called degree wherein we in the bachelor's wherein we have been doing a 3 years full-time course, and then the master's 2 years full-time course. That's actually not an education. That's a validity. That's a proof for you, saying that I have a paper and I'm ready to work, or I'm ready to do something now. So I see education in terms of the day-to-day learning that you have through your work. So that's the real education. When you get your hands on something, that's how you actually educate yourself. So that's how you can cultivate some kind of knowledge throughout the day-to-day learning that you have. So both my experience and education, both are very much valuable for me. Without one, I don't think so I can succeed or I can move forward. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you maintain the work-life balance?
Again, this is a question in all the interviews almost, So work-life balance, do not beat your mind to have a balanced work and a balanced life. It cannot happen. It will never happen. Accept the reality. This is how it has to be. It's all about your priority, what you want to do. Even if you're not working, say if I'm a housewife, I will not think about work. But if you ask me, do you have a balanced life? Leave work aside. If you ask me, do you have a balanced life? I will say no, because that's how our mind works. So do not think that I should have a scheduled work-life balance, or I should have a good balanced work and life. It is not going to happen. It's all about your own mind. So just keep going with the flow without getting stuck anywhere. Nothing is called as work-life balance. Today I'm not good. My mind is not good. I want to take off. Just take off. That's about it. And your son has an examination tomorrow, and you don't want to sit with him. That would not make you as a bad mother. That's absolutely fine. That's okay. Let him go. Get failed in the examination. It's just about it. Take it easy. Do not beat around the bush. So work-life balance is something of your own priority.
Okay.
It's all about priority.
Okay. So that's important. So what are the eligibility criteria for a fresher to choose this career and how to prepare for the futures?
Okay, for a fresher to get into this career, I would say that if somebody is really interested towards driving projects, people should understand driving projects is something different from the BAU. What is BAU? Like wherever that we all do HR, finance, or any business as usual things are BAU. But project doesn't work that way. You will have tight timelines. Somebody who is really interested in keeping themselves on their toes all the time should choose projects. Else, it is going to be waste of their time. If they don't have that fire of accomplishing something at the end of 3 months, and on not the next day, he has to do something altogether different, take some new project and make it successful. That needs lots of fire. So that is the first quality. If a fresher would like to get into projects. And number two, I would definitely suggest him to get into business analysis role first, because that will give him a fair idea of what is happening in the background. It is really difficult to get into project management directly as a project manager because it has lots of nuances to learn.
Okay.
So get into business analysis first. There are a couple of courses with IIBA wherein they can take up that course and slowly they can learn the background of project management and then get here.
Okay. So why should younger generation consider this as a career, as a business analyst?
So this role is going to be an amazing role for our younger generation, provided if they have that fire in themselves, because unlike the other roles, this will give you lots of challenges which almost all the younger generation love, is what I think. But again, I cannot guarantee this after the pandemic, because now it is all in their own comfort places. Let them be in their 18s or 20s or 21s. They want everything with a tap of a finger. That's how it is. Maybe pandemic had made us to do this, or the way that we are growing, or the way the generation itself as it is. But usually what I had seen, the younger people will have lots of energy that they bring in with themselves when they are getting somewhere. That energy, if they channelize that energy in a right way, they will definitely find this very interesting comparatively with whatever they're doing. Everybody is passionate about making movies. Anybody you take, for that matter, when they are young, everybody would have dreamt themselves as a hero or a heroine, at one or the other point of time. At times they direct, they say story, because it's all new for them, right? The moment that story ends, they have to think about another story. So that's the energy that they bring, when they are young. Project works the same way. The moment this project works, you have to drive another project altogether with a different set of protocols. So they will definitely find this interesting, provided if they are ready to put their hard strides on.
What advice would you give to the younger generations to choose this career?
These days they are very smart. They know what they want. It's unlike the days that I had done my degree. To your surprise, I have a bachelor's degree in Bharatanatyam, and I never thought that I would end up as a project manager or a Scrum Master now. Because when I was actually pursuing my bachelor's, I had some other goals on my mind, or I did not know how to utilize my degree towards what I want to, right? But that's not the case now. I see lots of people, they know what they want. The learning that they do, the degree that they do, they're foreseeing what they want to become, and that's how they are choosing that particular degree itself. So one thing is, when you have a goal, keep pursuing it. Just because of a couple of failures, do not think that your goal would be a failure, right? It's all about you. You have to make your goal success, and you have to really put in that effort. If it takes lots of learning than it is required, you have to do it. So just do not quit in between. That's about it.
Well, I'm sure that our viewers will benefit greatly from today's session, and I appreciate you very much for providing such extensive answers to each and every questions as well as your time. Thank you.